we're going to show you how to change filters on a countertop and a Keurig coffee machine. What you should have is you should have a 5-gallon bucket. You need the filters, coffee filter, and the filters for the water unit. The UV bulb we're going to change on the water unit. Either a pair of pliers or a channel locks, a Phillips screwdriver, and some line that you can use. So the setup you should have when you come to should be something like this. You should have a water line coming in. There should be a shutoff for the water unit and a shutoff for the coffee maker. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do the water machine first. So what we're going to do is we're going to shut the water off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get a cup of some sort and we're going to put it down here and we're going to dispense water with the water shut off to relieve pressure out of the system, so it makes it easier to disconnect everything. Okay? Once that's done, what we're going to do is take our screwdriver, we'll loosen up the screws in the back, and we're going to pop off our lid. Okay? The filter housing is right here, so we're going to change the filters first. So there's a screw right here that we're going to take off. Put that down, and then there's one here. And another one here. Okay, then this housing will come up a little bit like this. So what we're going to need to do is you're going to need to disconnect the line here by pushing it in and holding the little clip, and that line can come out. And then we're going to do the same thing for this one here, and this whole housing comes out. So then what you can do is you can take this out, unscrew that one, unscrew that one, get our filters, and then what you do is you take the plastic off along with the plastic piece in there. Make sure you take that off. Okay, and then what we're going to do is you just screw these back in. Okay, just like that. Don't over tighten them just until they stop. Then you're going to slide the unit back in. You're going to take this line, plug it back in, make sure it goes in all the way. Take this line, plug it back in, make sure it goes in all the way. Okay? Then you can put the screws back in. Alright, now what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to flush the filters. Otherwise, all the carbon will go into the water and then you're going to get a complaint about that. So what we're going to do is you got the 5-gallon bucket right here. This little line of tubing, what you're going to do is there's the coffee ice maker port right here. We're going to take my handy dandy little tool here and take that out. We're going to take our line, put our line in here, and then what you're going to do is hold it in the bucket and then you're going to turn the water on. And then you'll see all the carbon come out. So you're going to want to run that for about 2 minutes. Okay, so after you have it run for a couple minutes, you're going to shut the water off again. And then what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect our little line right here, and then we're going to take this and put the plug back in. Okay, now before you turn the water back on, what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the UV bulb. It comes apart like that. Take this piece over here, and then what we're going to do is carefully, what you want to do is just take this and slowly turn it counterclockwise until enough where it loosens and you can turn it by hand. And then what you want to do is unscrew this, pull this one out, take your new one, slide it in slow, and then you want to screw this in. as tight as you can, and then just take it, and you might just do, once you got it as tight as you can by hand, just maybe like a quarter of a turn. You don't want to over tighten it so you ruin that O-ring that's in there. Okay, then all you have to do is put this back on, plug this in, okay, and then you can turn the water back on. And then what you can do then is you dispense some water. You get all the air out of the system. And then if you have room temperature, or if it has hot on the other side, then just do the same thing. Okay? And that's how you change the UV bulb and the filters on the countertop unit. Now the next thing you need to do is reset the filter lights. On an IP1 where it has a display, all you want to do is take your fingers and hold these two buttons for about 5 seconds. It'll beep and it'll come up with the time of day settings. Use the cold button to scroll to where it says filter 1 mode. You hit the hot button to select it. It'll say reset filter. You're going to change that to yes by hitting the top cold. You're going to enter that. And then you come over here and hit the left one to change it to the next one. You want to reset filter 2. So yes, we're going to change that to yes. Enter that and accept. And you can see the filter lights went out. So filter 3, this one doesn't have that because it's a countertop. So we're going to move to the next one. UV lamp. We're going to select that. We're going to change that to yes. Enter that and accept. Now all the lights have been reset and everything, so then all you have to do is use this to where it says exit and hit that. Now you're out of the setup and this unit's done. If you have a unit that looks like this where it has the cold and 2 hot buttons, all you have to do on this one is hold the bottom hot and the left cold here, hold those for about 5 seconds and you'll hear the machine beep, and then all the lights will reset. If you have one that says room temperature and set, then you hold the set button and the cold button for about 5 seconds. It'll beep and it'll reset everything. And that's how you do it on these units. Now the only thing left to do is the coffee maker. That one's really easy. You're going to do the same thing. What we're going to do is there should be a separate shut off for that. We're going to turn the shut off here. We're going to shut the water off. What I recommend doing is if you loosen the fitting on the back by hand to relieve some of the pressure, it'll be so much easier to take the lines out of the filter. So then what you do is you're going to take this line out, and we're going to take this line out. We'll get rid of this filter. Then what we're going to do is put a new filter in. We have our new filter. It's directional, so make sure you guys put it to the flow. So this is the inside over here, so we're going to put this on the in. And then what you're going to want to do is you want to hook up your cheater line here back to your 5-gallon bucket, because this thing also too has carbon in it and it'll spit out carbon. So you turn the water back on and you want to let this run for a couple minutes. Okay, after a couple minutes, just turn the water off, let the pressure go out, and then all you have to do is disconnect your one line here, connect it back to the coffee maker. Make sure your fitting back here is tight from when you loosen it up to relieve the pressure. Turn the water on, check for any leaks, double check the water unit to make sure there's no leaks there. And then what I normally do is get a cup and just run a cup without any K-cups in it. Just run a couple cups of water through it. It'll help clean the filter head up here and the needle, and then it'll get the air out of the system. You just have to run a couple cups and then you're done.